Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going way back. We're looking at the evolution of television
Uh-huh.
from, those huge CRTs to the super sleek smart screens we all have now. The documentary we'll be diving into for this is called Television's Journey from CRT to Smart Screens.
Okay.
And it's part of a series called From Retro to Modern. I'm excited. This should be fun.
Yeah, it's a really interesting journey. Not just about the technology changing, but how TV, changed our lifestyles and design and social
Right,
habits.
like how it fits into our lives.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's rewind the clock all the way back to like the 1950s, the 60s.
Mhm.
Televisions are just becoming a thing. People are starting to get them in their homes.
Yeah.
We're talking about those big boxy CRTs that often took up like a whole corner of the
They
room.
were huge, huge. Those old CRT TVs were a real centerpiece.
Yeah.
Center of attention in the room. The technology behind them was revolutionary for the time. Using a cathode ray tube to
Yeah.
create the picture, but it had its limitations. It was big, bulky. The picture wasn't always that great, kind of fuzzy.
And not a lot of channels. Right.
Oh, very limited channel choices.
It's kind of wild to think about, right? Like something that had a fuzzy picture and you only had a handful of channels to choose from somehow became like the heart of the living room
Yeah.
where families would gather. It was something that everyone did together.
It was a shared experience that really brought people together. Think about it. Major events, news, even the first time a lot of people saw different cultures, it was all beamed right into your home.
Right into your living
It
room.
wasn't just entertainment, it was like this window to the world.
And then things start to change, right?
Yes.
TVs start to slim down. They get a little more stylish.
Yeah. The shift really started in the 80s and 90s with the move toward flat screen technology. And it wasn't just about looks, it was a turning point that made larger screens and better picture quality accessible to more people.
Right.
No more of that giant, heavy CRT taking up half your living room.
I remember when my family got our first flat screen. It felt like we had a whole new room. Suddenly the TV wasn't just a functional thing, it was part of the decor.
More screen space, a clearer picture, and you could actually fit other furniture in the room.
Exactly. It was like a design revolution,
It
wasn't it?
was. It was. It really paved the way for what we have today. TVs so thin they practically disappear when they're mounted on the wall. And it's not just looks, the technology behind the screens, like LED, OLED, and QLED, has massively improved the picture quality and energy efficiency.
Okay, I have to ask you to break down those acronyms,
Okay.
just for everyone out there like me who's not an expert.
Sure, no problem. Let's start with LED, which stands for light emitting diode. LED TVs use a backlight that illuminates liquid crystals to create the picture. And they're known for being really energy efficient and also those really bright, vibrant colors. Then there's OLED, which stands for organic light emitting diode. And OLED TVs don't need a backlight because each pixel actually makes its own light. This allows for incredibly deep blacks and stunning contrast.
Oh, wow.
And finally, QLED stands for quantum dot LED. It uses these tiny, tiny nanocrystals called quantum dots to enhance the color and the brightness of the picture.
So essentially, they all kind of create a picture, but they go about it in different ways.
Right, exactly. Each technology has its own way of making the viewing experience better, whether that's better color accuracy, better contrast, and just like more enjoyable to look at.
So we've gone from these huge, bulky CRTs to these like super sleek, high definition screens, which is pretty remarkable in itself. And then comes along something even bigger.
Yes.
The digital revolution. Remember the days of those like grainy analog signals, very few channels of fuzzy resolution? Well, digital technology completely changed the game.
It really did. It was a paradigm shift. It's like we went from a one-way street to a multi-lane highway of content, all these possibilities for viewers.
That's huge.
The move to digital brought higher resolution, which led to crystal clear 4K and even 8K images, but it also opened the door to a huge, huge increase in the number of channels.
Yeah, way more channels.
And that was just the beginning.
This is really where it feels like TV took a giant leap forward from limited channels and like you had to be there at a certain time to watch your show to a world of on-demand content streaming services.
You got it.
But there's another big part of TV's influence that we can't ignore. Its power to shape the way we see the world, our perceptions.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Television has had a huge impact on how we understand the world, both good and bad. On the positive side, think about documentaries and news programs and even like fictional shows. They can open us up to new ideas, new cultures, different perspectives. They can get people talking about important issues, raise awareness about things that need to change. We also have to remember that TV can do the opposite. It can reinforce stereotypes and biases. The way certain groups are portrayed on screen, the stories that get told, it all contributes to shaping public opinion, and not always in a positive way.
So it seems like with the power of television, there comes a responsibility, right? But what are some key takeaways that you'd want our listener to think about?
I'd say the story of television is really a reflection of, well, our story. It reflects our changing lifestyles, how our values are evolving, and our, constant need to connect with each other.
All right, so welcome back to our deep dive into the world of television. So far, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? We went all the way back to those massive CRT TVs. We talked about the sleek smart screens we have now. And we even touched on the really interesting ways television has, influenced society and how it shapes our perceptions. Yeah. But now it's time to look ahead, right? Time to ask, what's next for television?
Yeah, the future of television is... it's full of possibilities. Some of them almost seem like, something straight out of science fiction. We're seeing advancements that could completely change how we interact with content. And I think they're really going to blur the lines between, the digital world and reality.
What about the content itself? How will that change?
Well, all of these technologies are starting to merge together in ways that could create some truly mind-blowing viewing experiences. For example, AI, artificial intelligence, is being used to create hyper-personalized content that's tailored to your specific preferences. So imagine a TV that doesn't just recommend shows you might like, but it actually adjusts the viewing experience itself in real time. It optimizes things like the brightness or the sound, even how fast or slow the story is going based on, your mood or even the lighting in the room.
Wow. It's like the TV is almost becoming a friend, right? Like it knows you and what you want. What about virtual reality and augmented reality? We hear so much about those technologies. How could they change the future of television?
VR and AR are, they're going to change everything about entertainment. Imagine watching a nature documentary and you feel like you're actually walking through the rainforest. You can hear the sounds, see all the plants and animals, or picture yourself at a live concert right in your living room. You have this 360-degree view of the stage. You can feel the energy of the crowd.
So basically, you won't be able to tell the difference between what's real and what's on the screen. Pretty amazing, but...
It is really up to all of us. As the technology keeps evolving, we have to make sure that it's used to create a more informed, more connected, and more equitable world. It's not enough to just watch. We have to be part of shaping the future.
I think that's a really great point to end on. The evolution of television is a truly remarkable story, isn't it? It shows how creative and innovative we can be. And as we enter this new era of, immersive experiences and personalized content, it's important to remember that TV is powerful. We have to use it to build a future we can all be proud of.
Well,
if you like this video and you found it informative, don't forget to subscribe and share others. Also check the link to shop for any TVs, related accessories, or any other cool product you have in mind. That's it for now. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.